So yeah, let me start. Okay. Uh, yes. Good morning, students. You can see here, as we were discussing last class, about different types of magnetic materials, right? And you can clearly see here. I mean, when I was explaining the differences between the various types of magnetic material, you can I just want to show you visualization, okay, which is you can see uh, here you can see what is this diamagnetism. In case of diamagnetism, magnetic materials, the dipoles, if the magnetic field is zero, okay, so they don't move anymore, right? Dipoles are like stationary, okay. When the dipoles, okay, you guys are joining like anything. Okay, but when the field is applied, you can see they align in a particular direction. Okay, so as you can also see here, the paramagnetic case and ferromagnetic case. So what is going on here? In the case of diamagnetic materials, you can see this picture here, no external field. So in that case, the dipoles are like aligned in a different random directions. Coming to the paramagnetic materials, even the field is zero, even the magnetic field is zero. You can see that even though you can compare simply from here and from here. What you observe here? No, no. Here you can observe when the magnetic field is zero, completely there is no dipoles. You can't see any kind of dipoles or movements. But in case of paramagnetic material, there is a dipole moment. I mean, dipole moment in north south pole, you have the kind of like magnets. When you are in case of paramagnetic materials, even though the field uh, completely zero, you can still you have the magnetism. Okay, here almost like a magnetization is not zero. Here it's completely magnetization zero because there is no alignment here. Here you have the finite value of magnetization, whereas ferromagnetic case you have the very high magnetization even in the absence of magnetic field. Is it clear? The first point is field లేదు but still dipole momentum ఉంటుంది magnetization in case of para and ferro, whereas diamagnetic material completely zero. In the presence of magnetism, in the presence of magnetic field, you can have the dipoles aligned in a particular direction, but opposite direction. See, the field is this direction, dipoles are in opposite direction. They don't like the field. Okay, the dipoles are they are running out of the magnetic field direction. They don't want to align the magnetic field direction. Coming to the paramagnetic material, they try to align in the field of magnetic field direction. And coming to the what about the other one? The other one also you can see that what you can see the already they are in the field direction. You can there's not a big difference between para and ferromagnetic material, but there is a strong attraction towards the magnetic field. So from here, what I would conclude, diamagnetic material in the presence of magnetic field, they don't move towards the field direction, whereas paramagnetic and diamagnetic material, they move towards the field direction. In the absence of magnetic field, which is H is equal to 0, Diamagnetic dipoles, they do not possess any dipole moment. It's completely magnetization is zero. Coming to the para and paramagnetic materials, you can clearly see here there is a magnetization present. Definitely there is a finite magnetization. And in paramagnetic materials also, clearly, even though absence of magnetic field, they align in a field direction. You can also see here, you can also observe here, the field is zero. See, this is a kind of diamagnetic. External field is in this direction, and they try to align in this direction. External field, in the case of strong magnetic field, they try to align in this. So, no field, weak field, strong field. When you have a strong field, most of the dipoles they try to align in the field direction. Okay, so as I mentioned, I just want to go for explaining the essay question today. I don't want to spend on this. Let us focus on the long answer, which is very important. I mean, you can also see here, see, and there is a kind of domain theory. What is the domain theory? The domain theory, this is the south and north magnetic bar magnet. Okay. And see, when you have the domain, within the domains, the dipoles are aligned in a particular direction. Okay. Now, I mean, you can see domains. He's like, trying to explain this, how they are moving. See, within the domain that all the dipoles are in single direction. When you apply the field, they move towards the field direction. But when you don't have the field, so what happened within the domain, they align in a particular direction. So from this slide, what I would suggest you, what I would conclude you, when you do not have the magnetic field, they are like this. I mean, they within domain is nothing but, like, మన ఒక మెటీరియల్లో ఒక చిన్న చిన్న రీజియన్లో ఒక్కొక్క రకంగా ఉంటుంది అన్నట్టు, ఒక చిన్న చిన్న రూమ్లో ఒక్కొక్క రకంగా ఉంటుంది అన్నట్టు. సో ఇగో ఈ రూమ్లో చూడండి, ఏ రూమ్కు ఆ రూమ్లో అవి అలైన్ అయి ఉంటాయి. బట్ వెన్ యూ అప్లై ద మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్, అన్నీ కూడా దే కమ్ ఇన్ టు ది ఫీల్డ్ డైరెక్షన్. సో మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ డొమైన్, వెన్ ఐ టాక్ అబౌట్ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ డొమైన్, they are the they are the ferromagnetic material, not para, not dia. Only ferromagnetic material can show the domain theory, can satisfy the domain theory. Okay. Let me. Okay. Coming to the next slide. This is what I want to explain today. Domain, Langevin theory. Everybody can write down this. It's a very, very important long answer question. The question is, explain the. Let me show you and go step by step. Okay. Explain the question. Write down. Explain the Langevin theory. Langevin theory of diamagnetic materials. So this is a long answer. We have the long answer question. So we have to be careful. You should note down this. Sometimes they're going to ask, explain the types of magnetic material. Then also describe about the Langevin theory. So first ఏమంటారంటే డిఫరెన్సెస్ చేస్తూ పారా డయా పెర్రో చెప్తూ, then you'll ask Langevin theory of diamagnetism. You can also ask Langevin theory of paramagnetism material. Long answer. For this, so now we are in the diamagnetic material. So before explaining to this theory, the first equation you should remember that this one. So what is this equation, Nana? This equation is flux. Flux. Okay. Flux is equal to magnetic field lines per unit area. BA. Pi is equal to BA. Okay. Yes, sir. How? Because B is equal to pi by A. When I want to pi is what here? Magnetic flux. What is a magnetic flux? Magnetic field lines passing through per unit area. అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఇక్కడ మ్యాగ్నెట్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఫీల్డ్ లైన్స్ ఇలా వెళ్ళిపోతాయి కదా. సో ఎన్ని ఫీల్డ్ లైన్స్ వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాయి ఈ ఏరియా నుంచి? లైక్ సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ఐ కెన్ హెల్ప్ యూ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ దిస్ కాన్సెప్ట్, దెర్ ఇస్ అ డోర్ ఉంది. ఆ డోర్ ఉండి మీరు ఎంతమంది క్లాస్ రూమ్కి వెళ్ళి బయటకు వస్తారు అనేది అక్కడ ఫ్లక్స్ చెప్తాం. ఇక్కడ కూడా సో నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఫీల్డ్ లైన్స్ పాసింగ్ త్రూ పర్ యూనిట్ ఏరియా is called magnetic flux. So if I want to pi, I should get this one. Pi is equal to BA. Okay. So note down, this is the second, this is the first equation. I mean, don't write it, but I just want to go step by step understanding. Did you copy this one, second one? Then the next one I want to, okay, next one I want to do EMF. Faraday equation. What is the Faraday equation? Everybody knows this in intermediate, that EMF is equal to minus d phi by dt. EMF is equal to minus d phi by dt. This is called Faraday equation. What is it tells you? Faraday equation tells you rate of change of flux. Ante magnetic field with respect to time, how does it changes? అది ఎలా చేంజ్ అవుతుంది అంటే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఫీల్డ్ లైన్స్ పర్ యూనిట్ ఏరియా ఒకసారి ఎక్కువ పోతాయి, ఇంకొకసారి తక్కువ పోతాయి. హౌ డస్ ఇట్ చేంజింగ్? సో దాట్ గివ్స్ ద ఈఎంఎఫ్. ఈఎంఎఫ్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ వోల్టేజ్ ఓన్లీ. యూ కెన్ థింక్ అబౌట్ డైమెన్షన్స్ ఆర్ వోల్టేజ్. సో రేట్ ఆఫ్ చేంజ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్లక్స్, rate of change of flux can give the EMF. The famous equation of the Faraday. What was the discovery of Faraday? Faraday was discovered that the rate of change of flux, magnetic flux, which always equal to EMF. That is a Faraday law. The minus indicates Lenz law. I think you would have hear this in intermediate too. The what is this? The negative sign indicates, what is that? Lenz law. Okay, wow, what is this, sir? Lenz law. Yes, I'm gonna tell you that what I want. Okay, so this is the Lenz law. What is actually Lenz law? So whatever the flux generated in the, suppose the electron, let us say this is the circuit, should draw this. Electrons are revolving around this nucleus in orbitals, and nucleus is here. When electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a particular orbit, they have the flux. Okay, when electron revolving in this direction, current should be opposite direction. Is it correct? So when electron is moving in the anti-clockwise direction, okay, this is anti-clockwise direction, the current direction should be this one. So current should be this way, electron should be other way. Okay, they are always opposite direction. Okay, good, sir. So EMF of the EMF is equal to, if someone asks you what is EMF in the magnetism, simply you should tell that it's a rate of change of magnetic flux, and there is a minus indicated. A minus importance, who explained this? Lenz law. So minus indicates whatever the flux you have here, which always oppose ante వ్యతిరేకిస్తుంది, which always oppose the induced EMF in the circuit. అంటే మనము ఇక్కడ ఫ్లక్స్ వచ్చేది అన్ని కూడా కరెంట్ దాంట్లో ఇండ్యూస్డ్ ఈఎంఎఫ్ కి ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్ లో ఉంటుందనేదే ఇక్కడ మైనస్. దట్ ఈస్ ప్రపోజ్డ్ బై ద లెంజ్, ద గ్రేట్ సైంటిస్ట్ లెంజ్. Here it's a parallelogram. Okay. Now I understood. So we also know that what is the pi value? BA. Note down every step better. So you just substitute here pi is equal to BA. So when I substitute here BA, what happen? Okay, when I substitute pi is equal to BA, what happen? A is constant, right, beta? A does not change, right? Area is fixed. When area is fixed, so A is not changing with respect to time t. So I can pull it out of the differential derivative. So A ni బయటికి తీసుకొచ్చా. So remaining is dB by dt. అర్థమైందా ఈ step? Students? Yes? Students, did you understand? Students?
Yes.
Yeah. My request you, my suggestion to all of you, whenever you didn't understand the step, please raise or send a message so that I can repeat again. Okay, don't waste your time for nothing. So it should be like a productive, not like watching movie. I mean, you should be like learn perfectly. Essay question, I'm talking about essay question, you should be able to answer it. సో ఇక్కడ మనకు పై ఈక్వల్ టు బిఏ పెట్టిన కాబట్టి ఏ బయటకు వచ్చేసింది. ద రిమైనింగ్ ఈజ్ హౌ మచ్ minus a dB by dt. This is fine. Then when I was talking about circular coil, when an electron is revolving in a circular coil or nucleus or in the atom, so it should be circular, right? So a is what? A is equal to pi r square. A is equal to pi r square. R is the radius. Okay, very good, sir. Yeah, minus pi r square dB by dt. So I think up to here you understand. Then what I want to explain to you, there is a definition for electric intensity. I think Thirmal Reddy sir, you would have explained this relation between the potential and electric field. Relation between electric field and potential. The electric field is defined as potential difference per distance, d distance. Okay, so V by D. So this is actually sometime we're gonna say this is the d distance. Potential is one is a positive, the other one negative. If you place the distance d, V is the potential difference. So electric field, if you want to calculate, V by D. Okay, so this is the equation for electric field, which is equal to potential difference by D. Why we are writing the potential difference? What is the potential difference, sir? We didn't even understand. Electric field we know, sir, because when you place the charge around, there is a field is called electric field. We also know the magnetic field, sir. When you place the magnet around, there is a magnetic field. So magnetic field is equal to pi by that is also we understand, right? So now electric field is also we understand potential difference per unit distance. So after that, what happened? EMF is nothing but potential difference. EMF is nothing but potential difference. So E is equal to V by D. Okay, now I have to substitute V value, which is actually, what is the E value, Nana? Minus pi r square dB by dt. Minus pi r square dB by dt. What is that value of D, beta? Every step you have to note down, but I'm not. D is equal to 2 pi r. It's a circumference of the circle. Okay, is it clear? So D should be 2 pi r. Okay, so we substituted V is equal to, sorry, V, what is the V? Whatever we got it here. Okay, and I substituted minus pi r square dB by dt by 2 pi r. Okay, then when I cancel pi, 1 r cancel, I'm gonna get r by 2 minus also there, beta, minus r by 2 dB by dt. Is it clear up to this? Naveen, Sailaja, Naveen, are you there? Raghavendra?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand this? Shailaja, are you Shailaja?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand my steps అన్ని? ఎక్కడ అర్థం కాలేదు చెప్పు, ఒకవేళ అర్థం కాకపోతే. అందరికి ఓకేనా చెప్పమ్మా? Did you understand or not? Yes? Huh? I don't know. If you don't ask me what should I do, I'll go forward. Okay. Then now we have to go for the force. What is the force? Here we have Newton's second law. We know that F is equal to ma, right? So from here, if I want to write acceleration, A is equal to what happened? F by m. Okay. So we are talking about step by step. First, you need to go for the magnetic field, which is actually flux by area. Then we got the flux. Then we got the EMF, which is minus d phi by dt, which we got it like A doesn't change, A comes out, and dB by dt. Here A is pi r square because electron revolving on a circular path. So dB by dt. But here we E is equal to V by D. So you substitute V value here. D is equal to 2 pi r. You have to substitute. Okay, that's correct. Then F is equal to ma. So the force also we have to calculate, because when remember guys, when electron revolving around the circular orbits, definitely there is a kind of force, right? Otherwise it should collapse in the nucleus or go outside of the nucleus, go outside of the orbits. So there should be some force on the electron. So F by m. So F is equal to what? We know that F is equal to when electron is moving in a electric field E, the force should be EE. Charge is minus, so F is equal to minus EE. Okay. So whenever the electron in a electric field E, the force should be E into E, or sometimes we write QE. Okay. Sometimes we write F is equal to QE. Okay. So I am substituting beta. F is equal to QE, but Q is here is E, electron. We are taking electron. So minus EE by M. Okay. And here what is E? We already got E value from here. Okay. Wow, great sir. So you have to substitute here. Okay. So E by M, and the remaining is E minus R by 2. This minus and this minus can cancel. So R by 2 dB by dt. So is it clear for all of you up to this? Shaileja? Shaileja? Clear in that? చెప్పండి నాన్న. Hello. Can't you speak guys? ఇలా ఉంటే ర్యాంక్ లీడ్ వస్తాయి నాన్న మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్. మీకు అర్థమైందని అడుగుతున్నాను. డిడ్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్?
Yes, sir.
హూ ఇస్ దిస్? ఎవరు?
Suresh, sir. Suresh.
Suresh, did you understand all these steps up to A?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Then now dV by dt. So what is the acceleration here? So you have to explain this from here. Acceleration, rate of change of velocity. You know that, right? A is equal to what? A is equal to dV by dt, right? dV by dt. I mean, we know that this definition, right? Rate of change of velocity. What is acceleration, Anna? Acceleration is equal to velocity by time. But when it's changing, we write it dV by dt. So acceleration is what? Change in velocity by change in time. So I am writing A as dV by dt. So right side as it is I am keeping here. So now dV by dt is equal to how much we got it? This is the equation. Up to this, I think, did you copy? I am going to close this slide. Okay, so make sure you can take a screenshot or copy. Right? Did you take the screenshot or copy? Did you copy it? Okay. This is the equation we got here. Okay. So can I close to the next slide? Can I clear this one? Do you want to take screenshot? Did anyone take screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Please send a screenshot in the group. I mean, you send it to me. I want to see whether you copied. I'm going to check actual notes soon. So you should send this slide. I want to see this slide in the maybe group or maybe me. Okay, you can send me. I want to see that. Okay, then move. I'm clearing. I'm clearing, guys. It helps some people. Those who don't, those who didn't try it actually, it helps a lot. That's why I want you to take a screenshot because I cannot explain everything again. So I'm taking now, moving into the next slide. So now moving into the next slide. So yes, wow, great. So we are almost like at least we need to finish this today. I want to finish this today only. So now, what was actually, let me take this color. Oh, no, I don't want, yeah, I don't want white color. I want to go for this. Raghavinder, I think you raised the hand. What is the problem? Raghavinder, do you have a doubt? Raghu,
Okay.
I think your voice is not clear. I don't know, beta. You can give me call and tell me maybe later. I don't know. I cannot get your. So dv by dt is equal to same. I copied the previous slide. This is the equation which we got in the previous slide. Okay. So I think everybody knows that integration in intermediate. So you cross multiply dt cancel both sides. You can do it like that or cross it. It doesn't matter. So now dv is equal to this equation. We got it. So now now we have to apply the integration on both sides. Apply integration note down, but everything, all steps, integration on long answer question compulsory. Every year this question is compulsory. Apply integration on both sides. Okay. So when I apply the integration, what happens? So here you have to limits are 0 to v, here 0 to b. And the maximum velocity is v, the maximum field is varying from 0 to b. So when I apply the integration to the dv, apply limit 0 to v, I'm going to get v only, right? Is it? Because you know that integrate dx integration is what? X only, right? When I do the integration for dx, what is going to be? X. So when I do dy, y. So it gives the total area basically. Okay. So on the left side, I got v. On the right side, I got b. Okay. That's good. Why I am getting b? Because 0 when I substitute 0, 0 when I substitute b, b. Okay. White upper limit minus lower limit. So you can get only b here. Okay. Then now guys, you have to, did you fill the attendance, all of you? Yes, did you fill the attendance? Don't forget that every day you have to fill the attendance.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now what I got it here, tell me. Yeah, v is equal to er, same like I got it. This equation is important to remember. I mean, not remember, but at least you should box it. Then what is mu? Mu is actually magnetic moment. magnetic moment. Okay. What is magnetic moment? So we have a formula for magnetic moment, which is equal to E minus EVR by 2m. This is the formula for magnetic moment, beta. You should remember this. I think in spectroscopy chemistry, I think you are going to learn it, or else I will explain later. EVR by 2m. This is the magnetic moment when electron revolving around the nucleus. We also learn in intermediate this question. Minus EVR by 2m. Intermediate also it was a very important question. Okay. So this is from the our fast knowledge. Dipole moment, magnetic moment, dipole magnetic moment, mu is equal to this formula. Here we have to substitute B value. So substitute V value, what happened? Yeah. So when I substitute, what happened? So you minus E by 2, minus E by 2, R is there, minus ER by 2m is there, V, I am substituting here. So V is what ER by 2m into B. So now the equation becomes what happened? E into E, what happened? E square. R into R square. B. 2m into 2m, actually 4m square out. It's a 4m square. I think there is no m, I think. You should check this equation. No m here. No m. EVR by 2, I think. I'll check this equation. There is no m here. There is no m. EVR by 2, I guess. I'll check this actually, let you know next class. I don't think here m is there. So, EVR by 2. So, when I here no m, so this becomes E square R square by 4mi. Okay, this is a magnetic moment equation. Magnetic moment equation. Okay, up to here we got it. Then what? Then next, can I close this one? Can I clear it? Do you want to copy? Do you want to take screenshot? Please. Take screenshot and copy in the notes. Very important question. We have only 2 minutes, guys. I don't know whether I can able to finish it. And today only attended 14 members, which is very bad. A very important question, they lost it. I don't understand why. So let me clear it. Can I clear it? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Up to here, last essay is over. So now, I don't know whether I can able to finish it, but as we just copied from the previous slide again, okay. I have to. I think time is up, but anyway, there is no M here. This is no M. Here M no. Finally, we got this equation from the previous slide. And multiply on both sides by N. N is the number, number of atoms. Suppose you are discussing about the complete material. There is so N number of atoms. Okay. N is there. Z is the atomic number, single atom. Z is the single atom. So Zn is tells you total. It applies magnetic moment for all atoms. So I multiplied with Zn, but left side only N. Okay. So what is mu into N? Mu into N can gives the intensity of the magnetic field. So magnetic momentum into a number of atoms can give the intensity. You will get it complete. Then there is a term here, you can see this is for all, here R is the radius, but when I apply the radial component, I'm going to get 3D 2 by 3 R square. This equation can give the 2 by 3 R square. I'm going to explain later this. And this is going to be when I divide 2 1 ja 2 and 2 2 ja. Then this is going to be 2 into 3 6, and you're gonna get E square B 6m Zn R square. Copy, screenshot it. Time is, I think, very less time. You can take screenshot. And here R square, not here. Here should be R square. Okay. Here should be screenshot. Please take a screenshot, guys.